I'd like to spend 5 or 6 minutes with you, taking you the thought processes that go on at your side and the client side when thinking about how to set a budget for the solution which you are about to propose, or in fact if you just have proposed it. So yeah, anything that clients do will have a goal, and they will have talked to you about those goals, and so we have goals too. Quickly, let's review what those goals are, and to save a bit of time, you can see that what I've done is create the 4 major goals, which I believe are the 4 major goals, and most clients' needs will fall into these. And look at them, they overlap with what we want. Clients want the best possible solution, they want profitable growth, they want an enhanced reputation with their own customers, and they want to future-proof themselves against their competition. Now, notice I've chosen the word future-proof rather than a goal to beat the competition online. They may want to beat the competition, and that's part of a process, but the outcome is that whatever they do, they will be surrounded by competition, and that they want their fair share or their earned share of what's available and what's out there, and let the customers decide where they place their business. And in fact, without going through it again, we want all of that too, don't we? We want the best possible solution. Let's just pick that one and leave it at that, so that we have retained clients, and we enable them to buy more and more products and feel that satisfaction, and the word of mouth, which they then go and say online and to their friends. Yale's a great place to go and get digital solutions. So let's just consider now the kind of thoughts that we go through when setting a budget. Now, I don't mean to guess everything that's going through your head, but I put a few down that I've heard and also that I've experienced when I've been out there selling too. One of the ones which seems to be a popular one, which is where the client says, we've got an agreed budget in mind. And in fact, sometimes we ask the question, don't we? Oh, have you got a budget figure in mind? And that can box us in slightly. I won't go through that just yet, but you know what I'm talking about. The next one is where we can begin to say, look, in order to grab that fair share that we talked about earlier, let's just have a look at the competition that are near you. Let's try and find out how much they're spending in order to get, let's say, the impressions, the clicks, the ads that they're spending to drive traffic to their website. There are tools out there which will help us have an estimate, and we can almost by a scale, without much accuracy actually, say they seem to be spending 3 or 4 times what you're thinking of right now, and we might be able to coax or move people more towards that figure. Because if there's a direct correlation between spend and prominence, visibility, and then conversion, then that's an argument you could pursue. The next thing we think about, if we're really frank, it's what offers and promotions, that's internal sales material assets, internal incentive schemes. What do we have that will encourage our customers to actually say, yeah, that seems great, let's go for it? And if you think of the recent ones around multiple product holdings and how we can combine those to actually help them dominate that prominence and then dominate being chosen, there are some incentives being offered internally and externally. 20% off if you combine so many things, and there are no doubt some commission incentives for our own sales teams. The other 2 things which we do think about and we try to suppress, don't we, is I wonder which product will earn me the most commission. And part of that is also due to the other question, which is I wonder which product has the most chance of seeing through its contract term and not being cancelled. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So far, those seem to be the options. Let's just explore the option which is based uppermost on the client's mind, which is to do with a model around their own product and service profitability, and then take them through a fairly simple exercise. You don't have to be a maths genius to do this, or even great with numbers, but it's a kind of logical back of cigarette packet envelope conversation. Goes a bit like this. So tell me your average sales value for the kind of product and service which you really want to push and grow. And I'm going to put some figures on. Now, just let me say this. Some clients may be really reluctant to say what their profit is. And you can reassure them that that's fine. As long as they've got a figure in mind when you take them through this, that's all that matters. If they share that figure with you, then great, you can do some things with that. So let me fill the numbers in as we go along. Let's say, again, for my example to do with heating engineers and installations, and we're thinking about that as the main service, that the sales value is £3,000 and the gross profit on that is £1,000. Now, whether it's stated or whether it's not stated, that's the figure that they have in mind. Then your kind of transitioning question is, okay, so how much of that gross profit would you be prepared to invest with any campaign, actually with anybody, in order to secure a sale? Not secure a call, not secure a lead, but to secure a sale. The cost of acquisition for the sale. And let's say they tell you, and let's keep the numbers really simple, they think they're prepared to spend, to say, 20% of that figure. So straight away, we know that for an order value of 3,000 with a profit of 1,000, they're prepared to spend 20% of that 1,000, which is £200, on acquiring an order that's worth top line 3,000. Does that make sense? Now we get the capacity question, and that's based on two things, isn't it? It's based on their capacity to service and deliver, especially if it's based on teams going out to certain postcodes and spending X number of days on site and putting stuff in. And it's also based on the capacity in the market to actually take whatever they have to offer. But either way, they've said to you, we would like, and they'll, nail them down to a figure, and you help them, build that ideal future dream. And let's say they want an additional 40 sales in a month, an additional 40. So that's like 10 a week. So what will that mean with anybody that's scalable? Well, we simply multiply that by that, and we end up with, well, from what you said, you're prepared to invest £8,000 a month in a way of finding, attracting and converting sales that will bring you an additional 40, and that's going to build over a period of time naturally. So here we have a figure which is based on a business model which they believe they can scale, their profit figures, their contribution of profit towards digital marketing figures, and simply multiplying that. And we might need even to rein it in a bit, which is probably more credible, and say, look, to start with, we'll be experimenting with the best way to reach those people. We'll be advising you on the best offer on the page, on the website, to encourage people to want to go with you now that they found you. So what if that were to reduce to 20, and then that reduces to initially 4,000 a month, and let's review it after the first 3 months, and let's see that we've found the right messages and opportunities to scale, and then we know what we can do. As long as it remains within your guideline figures for cost of acquisition, and you've still got the capacity to deliver, then we've started to build a journey for them, a roadmap, if you will, of where they can go, not just to generate sales, but what they're really interested in, which is to generate retained profit. Try it out next time you go on that sales call.